about you guys, but Coke was my jam growing up, which is why it is the inspiration for today's video. We are going to be creating an epic Coke commercial at home. Just cannot believe that this is being shot using just my iPhone, a few things around the house, Coke, and the InVideo Editor. And I'll share the entire process with you so that if you want to create a snazzy social media commercial for your own brand, for some other brand, or for Coke, you can easily follow along even if you've never done this before. The best part about this commercial is that the setup is super simple. We are going to be filming just using this iPhone 12. This mobile tripod that I got off Amazon with a phone clamp, of course, to hold the phone. And it's all going to be done in this one single space. So you don't need a huge space to make this work. But ideally, you want to film in a windowless room without any natural light. I don't have that, which is why I've created this sort of makeshift setup where I have hung a couple of blankets to block out the light that's coming in from the window. But the super important part here is this black backdrop. This is key to the commercial that we are shooting today because we want to highlight the colors of the Coke can, which is red and white, and that comes out beautifully against a black backdrop. You can use a chart paper or like a bed sheet or anything black that you have instead of this, but I had this and that is what I'm using today. The next thing you need is an external light source. I am using this softbox from Godox, but a ring light works equally well. You don't have to invest in this. I had this, so I'm using it. The point here is that you do not want to film in natural light because with natural light, there's a lot of exposure. You can't control it, especially when you're filming on a phone, and you want focused light on your product to capture all of those details and highlight the key elements or the key aspects that you want to highlight. And I also have 6 Coke cans chilling in the fridge, and Aman here is keeping an eye on me that I don't drink them all before we even begin shooting. Now for the props, I am using 5, maybe 6 things in total, starting with this turntable. My mom uses this for baking and stuff, and I am actually going to use this to create those super smooth cinematic shots that we often see in commercials like this, the revolving shots with the product in the center. Party poppers. I'm planning to do something very creative with these, so let's see how that turns out. A spray bottle. I actually use this to mist my plants, and a spare phone. I'm going to be using the torchlight on this again, like for some creative shots that I want to take. Of course, there's the glass to pour the delicious Coke in, and ice, baby. So I'm primarily going to be using 2 settings on the iPhone to film. The first one is 4K in 60 FPS, and I am still going to use the slow motion feature on the iPhone and film some of the shots in this because it has image stabilization and it'll give me that like creamy smooth flow. And this is in HD 120 FPS. So 120 frames per second is even more frames, which gives me a lot more editing control later on. Let's go. Okay, so now before I begin shooting, I am going to douse this spray can with water. A lot of water from this spray can because we want to bring around that element of freshness and that feeling of this Coke can coming right out of the freezer. So the catch with this shot is that while I'm filming, I have to lower the exposure so that I can actually capture the water droplets catching the light. So the first set of shots that I'm going to take are using this turntable. I'm going to rotate it and film simultaneously. This is basically to get those super cinematic shots that are often used in product commercials like this. And I am also going to be digitally zooming into the shot. That way it gives that zoom in effect. I'm going to do that on my phone itself. Now the trick is to get the turntable to stop right when Coca Cola is in front of the frame. So it is going to take a couple of tries. Ooh, perfect. So for this next shot, I am going to get a little bit creative, and what I'm going to do is I'm using this phone, another phone with a flashlight on. That's all you need. And I'm going to kind of move it over the Coke can like this very, very quickly. What I'm trying to achieve is the light hitting the water droplets on the Coke can, and this is going to come out beautifully as a transition shot. Let's get started. Oh, beautiful. I just cannot believe that this is being shot on a phone camera. So another creative shot that I want to take with this turntable is creating this sort of paparazzi effect, like the Coke can is the hero being clicked by the paparazzi. So for that, I am going to use the phone's flashlight as a sort of camera flash, and I'm going to have somebody help me here. They're going to turn it on and off as I rotate the table and film this simultaneously to give it that camera flash feel. Okay, now it's time to create some mess. I am going to be taking a few different shots of pouring Coke into this glass, and then we're going to stitch them together in the edit. So this first one is going to be a motion shot, and it's an establishing shot because now we are pouring the Coke into the glass. So it's establishing the pour. And what I want to do for this is create like this sort of transition, seamless transition, where I move the phone down as the ice is being put into the glass, and as I move the phone down, it gets blocked by this black chart paper, acts as the transition. And then in the sequence, we have again Coke being poured into the glass, and the same motion happening as the Coke is poured, we have the phone coming down and again blocked by this black chart paper. Let's show you how it's done. 1, 2, 3, start. Now that the Coke is in the glass, I'm going to go ahead and take some close-ups of the ice and the fizz. I actually now want to take the pour from one other angle. I think that'll look really cool, which is from below the glass, so that it looks like we are pouring Coke on top of the camera. So what I'm going to do is switch on the video recording on the phone, and then I'm going to put the glass on top so that it looks like the glass is here. We're going to add a couple of ice cubes, and now we are going to pour the Coke. And now for the final shot, we are going to use this party popper. Same setup, like this is the hero shot still, but we want to bring in that element of celebration that comes with confetti, and this party popper is going to give us a lot of confetti. So I'm going to call somebody to help me, and they're going to pop this while I film, and in slow motion by the way, and get that beautiful confetti effect. Now with all of the shots done, let's move to the editing table and edit this video. Alright, now that we have all of our footage, let's get down to editing. I am going to be using InVideo's online editor to edit this whole thing because it's super easy for anyone to use and you don't need heavy editing machines to do so. I will start out with a blank canvas in the 16:9 aspect ratio because we are making this for YouTube. To save time, I have already uploaded all of the footage to the editor and separated it into folders for ease of access. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start by placing all of the shots on the timeline. I already have the sequence ready because we planned all our shots accordingly in the beginning. The first shot that I want here is not actually something we filmed, but the reveal of the Coke logo itself, because we want to establish branding right up front. So I have this Coke logo that I have gotten from Google. It's a PNG file that I have uploaded already, and I am going to put this on the canvas, and I'm going to put this on the canvas and resize it a little bit to make it fit, and we are going to place it right in the center. Yep, that looks good. Now just having this against a black backdrop is very boring. So I want to add some mystery, some drama to this first reveal shot, and I think adding smoke here will look really nice. So I'm going to go look for stock footage with a black background and smoke coming out of it for the backdrop. Let's go to the stock library on InVideo and search for it. All right, that looks really great. Let's put this on and see what it looks like. Amazing. All right. Okay, so this is exactly the vibe that I am going for. All right, now that this first shot or the first reveal shot is done, the storyline that we are building, and the storyline is something that's very important, is that we have macro shots of Coke that we want to put in first and then do the big product reveal of the hero shot. So I'm going to start off with a very close-up shot of fizz of Coke in the glass. And after that, I'm going to place all of the other macro shots in sequence. And then we're going to add the hero shot towards the end. All right, okay, wonderful. This looks absolutely great. Now it's actually time to add the music. Note that I already pre-selected the music, and this is a super important step. You want to select your music before you start editing your video. So I already have this really high energy, upbeat, electronic future-based track that I want to use, and I've uploaded it to InVideo. You can also go ahead and choose music from their stock library, but I really had this song and I wanted to use it because I feel this is perfect for this commercial. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the timeline, and then it gets placed. The thing we're going to do here now is trim all of these clips in sync with the music. It is super important to edit to the beat of the music because you want the entire commercial to feel like a flow. So every time there's a spike in the music, I will trim there and let the second clip or the next clip begin from there. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the Coke reveal logo to the first spike in the song. Yep, there it is. And as soon as that spike is there, you can look at the waveforms and see it's there as well, but I'm mostly going by ear. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Now this looks good as it is, but I want to take it up a notch by color correcting the footage. Essentially, we want all of the footage to look seamless together. And we paid a lot of attention while shooting to do this, but there are some places where I think the blacks have become a little dull. So I'm going to play around with the contrast and make the blacks deeper and richer to make the colors pop out more. All I'm going to do is adjust the contrast slider so that all of the clips match. And there it is, looks absolutely stunning. Now that we have our color corrected and music synced footage right on track, what we're going to do is enhance the storytelling by adding a few transitions and a few overlays to enhance the overall look and feel of the video. I want to add a few fade in, fade outs at a couple of places. Yep. All right. There's also this overlay that I found, which is like this burn effect that I want to add at a couple of places. Ooh. I love how this burn effect looks. It looks like you filmed through Coke. Wonderful. The final thing that's left is adding an outro or a concluding slide to make it seem complete. And for this, I want to go with the iconic Coke slogan, 130 years of happiness. And that is what I'm going to add here. Just adding a text box. And let's see what font we want. I think this one, Alamari Bold, looks really nice. Wonderful. Now, for the backdrop of this particular clip, I want to use something that has a neon red background so that the white text stands out and it also complements Coke's color. Ooh, this is such a beautiful stock footage. It has a red neon frame and looks really, really nice with this. Let's see what it looks like on. Wonderful. Now our commercial is essentially ready, but I want to go ahead and add a few sound effects at a couple of places to make it feel more robust and complete. And that's it. We are done. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final output. For this video. If you enjoyed and want to take a deeper dive into the world of creating professional product commercials right at home, take a look at the other videos that we've done in this series. We even created a Dior commercial from scratch at home. And let us know in the comments what you would like us to cover next. This is Aditi with InVideo, and I will see you in the next one.